Hi guys, my name's Aidan McCarthy. Thanks for taking my job interview. Appreciate your time. So you guys have asked me 3 questions. What is my training philosophy? So my training philosophy is very structural and foundation. I really enjoy the dynamic warm-up part of the exercise program or the workout that we do. I find that we can address imbalances such as joint mobility, flexibility, any imbalances in the muscles, any strength deficits. Like an example can be if you have an athlete with weak hamstrings, you can use exercises such as the inchworm, which will dynamically stretch the hamstrings, while adding in like some bodyweight exercises like some bridges and some squats, which can help strengthen those hamstrings. So I really do enjoy the dynamic warm-ups. I think you can address a lot of issues there, and it's a big key in my exercise program. So after you do the dynamic warm-up in the training program, I'll go to the main body. Just depending on what we're doing. If we're doing obviously speed work, then sprints will be like the main part of that. If we're doing a bit of strength and hypertrophy, then obviously we got to start looking at some compound lifts, multi-joint exercises. How I go about that is I kind of separate into knee dominant, hip dominant, horizontal, vertical, push and pull. So like examples can be like your horizontal pulls can be your bent over rows, your vertical pulls can be your pull-ups, horizontal press can be your bench press, knee dominant can be your back squats, and hip dominant can be your Iranian deadlifts. They're just examples, but I do like to use those main core lifts because I really do believe that a strong athlete, person, whoever you're doing, if they're in the business world, just anyone strong is going to prevent injury and it's going to, increase overall wellness. If they're an athlete, it's going to help them better on the sporting field. So that main component is really, really key, and we need to get that bit right. So you just got to look at who's your clientele and what they need. If it's sport, then you need to address some sport specific skills. If they're just looking for overall wellness, functional ability around the house, and strengthen all those 4 key areas such as your hip dominant, knee dominant, push and pulls. If they're nice and strong there's going to be no problem around the house and for whatever we do. Also in my training program after the main body, I do like to add some accessory work, which can include like your core stuff. So you say you might do 4 main lifts, then you add in your core lifts after. You can also add in some single joint exercises like your calves or your bicep curls. Whatever the athlete likes, that's a good time. The athlete wants to get bigger arms, for example, that's a good time to add in as an accessory exercise. So they still do their main exercises like the bench and pull-ups or the back squat, front squats, whatever they need to do for their programs to help them get better. But if they have a little side goers, I want to get a bit stronger in the arms or in the biceps, then just those accessory exercises is good. You don't need to go overboard on them. Just one or two exercises, depending how long the workout is. You can add a third one in if you've got a bit more time. But a little example of the workout could be, if you're doing a knee dominant press exercise, you could do back squats into bench press, into shoulder press, and like some split squats or lunges kind of thing. That would be your main body. And then their side goals are, I wouldn't mind, strengthening around the arms a little bit. Then you can add in some dumbbell tricep extensions, and you can add in some of your core work like your Pallof presses and all that kind of stuff. After that main body and accessories, I'm big on like the cool down, just adding some static flexibility in there, any mobility issues in there as well. Same thing with that hamstring example. You can static stretch your hamstrings. They might have tight hip flexors. A lot of people have tight hip flexors, so hip flexors could be targeted there. Any injuries or possible prehab mobility, flexibility you can add in there. But it's important to do the cool down. Everyone kind of forgets it. They do 40, 50-minute workout. They've done their dynamic warm-up. They've done their main body accessories, whatever they're doing. It could be track and field as well. They've done all their sprints. they're buggered. They don't really want to do the cool down, but we need to save time for that, because it is a good prehab, and it is a good time to address those flexibility issues. Okay, who do I seek inspiration from? So I did my Master of Strength and Conditioning at Edith Cowan University, and there was 3 big standouts to me. I really liked Daniel Baker's work. He used to work for the Broncos. I'm a bit of a rugby league fan, and his strength and conditioning, kind of what I said before with that main body stuff, he really likes that knee dominant push-pull. That's kind of where I've kind of got a bit of inspiration from that. He was also into a bit of accelerometer work, which I find fascinating as well. So I do a little bit of accelerometer work as well. But yeah, so he's a big one. Gregory Haff, who was also at ECU. I really enjoyed doing all the Olympic lifting with him when I went up to Perth, up at Edith Cowan University. And I am also into my speed and agility, so Sophia Nymphas's work on speed and agility is quite fascinating to me as well. I've also interned at Endeavour Sports High School under Matt J, and he was very good. I think he's gone on to the Sharks now. He's moved on to the West Tigers NRL football club, so he's doing really well. I learned a lot off him, especially programming and youth athletes. I did a lot of work with youth athletes since I was at the high school, and he taught me quite a lot of functional movements that really build up the youth athletes. So yeah, he's a big one. He was quite good. The last question: what is the most impactful fitness wellness moment you've experienced? For me personally, I'm a tennis player, and when I was a bit younger, I was playing a lot of tennis tournaments. But in Tennis Australia, they put you a lot of back-to-back matches, and I was finding if I made it into the 3rd round, I was fatiguing quite a lot. So I had a little bit of maximum aerobic speed work into my routine, doing 15 seconds on at hard work to 15 seconds off, and that really helped me. And I went on to win a couple of tournaments just due to my fitness, and that was quite a big thing. So I can see that strength and conditioning, just overall health and wellness, is such a big part and can make such a big difference. With me coaching, I've had a client that lost 30 kilograms, and that was a good moment to see that how you've changed people's lives. So I enjoy all parts of it: coaching athletes. I enjoy coaching general population. Just seeing a big difference and knowing what health, wellness, and strength and conditioning, just general fitness, can do to people. I've gone a bit over time, so I'll leave it there. But thanks for looking at my application, and I do appreciate it.